So this is just one of the previous, this is one of the previous questions. So I just want us to go through it just to see. So they can set them in a different way, but it's good to check all the basic ones and the other ones. So I just want us to look at this first. I just want us to analyze first. First, you can see here this is the name of our business. We are Lake Superstore, and then they say we are on the 29th of Feb 2016, and then this is the bank recon. Can you see what they normally do? They give us the bank recon from the previous month. So you need to be careful because sometimes they give you the figures from the previous month, but I'm going to show you how to deal with them. So as you can see, this is how the bank recon looks like. Can you see now? You can see here it has got the favorable bank balance and then outstanding and things like that. But don't worry, I'm going to show you how to compile a new one. Okay. So sometimes they give you the old or the past month bank recon. Sometimes they don't give you, doesn't matter, but you just have to analyze the information as you see it. Okay. Now it means what we need to know, our month is February. Okay. So this is our month. As you can see here, they even said the following preliminary totals. Remember, you need to check. These are the totals given to you. They say the total as at the end of what? Of February 2016, they gave you the total for cash receipts and the cash payments. So you must always check this kind of information, because what you need to record first, you need to record the total. So immediately, I want you to know these totals. So I'm going to go and record. Remember, the first thing that I must do is to record the totals given to me. So I know that the totals here for the cash book receipts is 2520 here. And the total for the cash payment is how much? It's 36,633. So I need to take that into consideration. Are you okay so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, so I'm gonna need these totals. I don't know if you put the question with you, because I wanna go and record. Okay, so that you can see whatever I'm doing. I'm gonna record the first step. You can even write the steps down so that when you revise in future, you remember what to do. The first thing that you need to do is to put. You can write it as step number 1. Record all the totals given to you. If they give you the totals, you need to record them. Okay. So you can write that as the first step. Okay. I'm going to record the totals. I'm just going to scroll to the answer book. I'm going to come back to the question. I'm going to go to the answer book. I think you have it there. For the cash book receipts, that's the first thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to say total. Let me just change the color, make it red, for example. I'm going to say totals. You can just say total before adjustment, but you can just say totals. It's okay, but I prefer to say totals before adjustments. For the receipts, it was how much? Let's see, it was 250. Still with me?
Yes, sir.
And then for the payments, must do this same. Total before adjustments. That's the first thing we do, and then this basics. 633. Are you okay so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, remember, the examiners, they always try to confuse you. It doesn't matter how they give you the information, as long as you know the first step is to find those totals. If you don't have them, don't worry about them. That's the first thing that you must always remember to do. Because sometimes you will see some questions are drafted differently. So they're just trying to confuse you, as long as you know what you're looking for. So the first step, we have recorded the totals. Now, let's continue the information. They say, when comparing the previous bank recon, can you see they are telling you? So they were comparing, remember, we are dealing with month of Feb. They were comparing the January bank reconciliation statement. As you can see here, they said the previous bank reconciliation statement with the current cash book, meaning with the cash book. By the cash book, we know by now, the cash book we have cash book receipts. Just hold, just hold. Sorry, my brother was looking for something. Don't worry, but it's okay. So we are comparing the bank reconciliation statement from the previous month, meaning this one. They are talking about this bank reconciliation statement, this one. They say when they were comparing with the cash receipt journal and the cash payment journal for this month, they found the following. Can you see now? Remember, when we compare the two, they are comparing the previous and the current cash book. So we are trying to find any differences which we need to reconcile. But let's check what they found after comparing. Okay? That are still following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now, let me go to the next and then you'll see. So when they compared, they found the following. They found, firstly, they found the interest on overdraft of 111, the service fee of 200, and the credit card levy for 100. And they say these amounts had not been entered into the cash book. Can you see now this one they're already telling you that they have not been entered. It means we must go and enter them in the cash book. But again, even if they don't tell you, you must just check where do we record this kind of information. Okay, so as you can see, the interest on overdraft, if I may ask, in which book are we going to record this, the interest on overdraft?
Cash book payment, sir.
Cash book payment. So this one, I'm going to say CBP. And then what about the other two? Together, they are called bank charges. These two.
Don't they all go to CBP, sir?
They also go to the CBP. So even these two will go to the CBP. And remember, together, they are called bank charges. So we need to understand that because you cannot put them one by one, they can penalize you. You need to call them bank charges. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
So now we must go to the CBP and record this kind of information. Can you see now? So we must go there. Under CBP, just waiting for the system to respond. Let me see, let me see. Yeah, so I'm just gonna write it now. I'm gonna write the interest on overdraft as the first thing. Ask me if you are lost.
Don't you write it under bank charges, everything, sir?
No, the interest on overdraft is not a bank charge. Ne? It's on its own. Ne?
Oh, okay.
Are you with me, Kato?
Okay. I'm trying to understand. So
Can you hear me?
interest overdraft also part of a bank charge?
No, remember the interest on overdraft is they charge you because you use the money that you don't have in advance. Okay. But the bank charges are the ones that they charge you when you transfer. It's for the service. This one is not for the service.
Oh, okay.
Are we together?
Okay, understand.
I can't hear Katero. Are we on the same page?
Yes, I understand you, sir.
Yeah, please don't add them, otherwise you're gonna lose marks, ne? So you must separate them from the bank charges. So the bank charges must always be separated from what? From the interest. So interests are not bank charges. Please, you must check that. Okay, and then those ones you're gonna say is 200. You must add them together plus 100, which is 300. Please talk to me if you are a bit lost. Can you see how do I record? Please, I repeat, do not add the interest with the bank charges because the interest is not a bank charge.
Okay, I understand, sir.
Okay, perfect. So otherwise, I'm gonna go back to the question itself so that we can continue. Okay. Okay, so this is what we were busy with. Okay, so okay. And let me just erase everything here and go to number 2. If you check number 2 here, they say check number 418 and check number 425 both appeared on the February bank statement. Can you see now? And then they say but check number 427 did not. And check number 427 has been issued to running club as a donation, and the club has disbanded, and therefore the check must be cancelled. Can you see now? So we need to be careful here. Remember, our main aim, the reason why we reconcile, our main aim is to make sure that the checks which have been outstanding are now appearing on the bank statement. So if you can check 418 and 425, let me go back. I want you to remember this. Remember, check 418 and 425. I'm going to go and check them now. Let's go and check them. 418 and 425. Can you see here they've been appearing from the previous bank reconciliation statement? So if they are appearing like this, it means last month they were outstanding. Can you see now? It means they did not appear on the bank statement last month. But now they are telling me that they are appearing. I'm just going to tick them and say they're appearing. It means I must do nothing to them because this is what I need. There is nothing to reconcile because they are now appearing. Are you with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So they appear. If they were not appearing, I'll check. Let's say, for example, even this month of February, they were not appearing. It means even this month of February, I'll write them as what? I'll write them as outstanding checks, even this month. But for the fact that they told me that they are now appearing, it means my problem has been solved. I will ignore them completely. It means I'm not going to record them at all. Can you see? I'm not going to record them at all. Are we together?
So I want to understand something. These
Yes.
checks, is it that we received it from someone or we are paying someone?
We were paying someone. As long as they say check, just know that you paid. If you receive, they always say deposit.
Oh, okay.
We were the ones who were paying them. So we paid and then they were not yet taken from our, let's say they were not reflecting on the bank statement, meaning the person to whom we paid did not go and claim the money. But during this month of Feb, they came back and they claimed the money. That's why they say they are now appearing. It's okay. They are not outstanding anymore. Does that make sense? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. So we know that these ones have been solved. Let's go back to the other one. But they said, remember, the other check, they said 427 did not. Can you see that they say this one? The 427 did not appear, meaning at the moment it is still outstanding. But they told us that we need to cancel the check. So if I'm, let me ask you something. If I want to cancel a check in my book, will I record in the CBR or CBP?
CBR.
CBR. So I know that this check that they said I must cancel, this one, if they said I must cancel, it means I'm going to go and record it in the CBR, because you know, for me to cancel the payment, I must go to the receipt. So that's why this check 427 will appear in my CBR, and I'm going to go to the CBR and I'm going to record. They say the check was paid to Running Club as a donation. Can you see? So I can just say, okay. So I'm trying to go back to the question. Can you see what this thing did when I was canceling? When I cancel the information, it cancels everything. So from now on, I'm not going to cancel anything. I'm going to write it again. Sorry, let me quickly write the total. And the total here. So I'm just going to quickly write the total. It was 25. Sorry, I thought maybe when I cancel, it will only cancel on the slide that I'm dealing with. Can you see? So now I need to cancel that check for donation. I can say running. That's what I like about this section. They're not very strict with what you write. You can just write running club and donation, and you can say cancelled. It doesn't matter. Any information that can make sense. And how much is that? Is 1,320.
So for total, so I can just write total and then the amount finished. I don't have to write total brought down or anything like that.
No, you can just write total. It still makes sense. Are we together? So even here, I'm gonna put the total, that total that I missed before. So that now I know that when I cancel, it cancels all the slides. So from now on, I'm not gonna cancel anything. 3663, and I also had interest on overdraft. It was 111, if I'm not mistaken. Now I also had bank charges. And all in all, I think it was 200 plus 100, which gave me 100. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is what we have so far. I hope you are following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please immediately when it doesn't make sense, stop and then stop me so that I can explain. Let's go back to the question. That was number 2. We have finished number 2, as you can see. Now we go to number 3. What are they saying about number 3? They say the outstanding deposit on the 31st. Can you see now they're talking about the outstanding deposit? When they say 31st of January, it means they're talking about the past month, the previous month. They say was credited by the bank on the 1st of Feb. So they are saying the deposit that was outstanding, if I can go back and check, they say it has been credited by the bank, meaning the bank statement is showing it now. So it means this is what I need. Again, it's solved. If I can go back, they're talking about the outstanding deposit. Let me show you the outstanding deposit that they're talking about. They're talking about this outstanding deposit. They're talking about this outstanding deposit. You see, they're talking about this deposit. Can you see last month it was outstanding? In other words, it was not appearing on the bank statement. They say it is now appearing. Again, it means I just have to tick it to show that everything has been settled and there is nothing I must do about it. Are you with me so far, Katla?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so again, that is what I need. As long as they say something is appearing, is solved. If it is not appearing, let's say, for example, this deposit was still not appearing on the bank statement for this month, which is the month of Feb. I was supposed to write it as outstanding by the time when I open the new bank reconciliation statement. But now I know that this has been solved. I don't have to touch them at all. Okay, so now it means I can go back to the question and then look at the other information. So that was number 3. Let's check number 4. Number 4, they say a deposit made. Now they're talking about a deposit made on the 28th. That is my month. They say the deposit was how much? The deposit was 4855. They say did not. Can you see now? They say did not appear on the February bank statement. Remember we talked about the items which do not appear on the bank statement. The minute they say something is not appearing on the bank statement, it means it is appearing in our books. Can you see now? So it means this deposit is appearing in our books, but not on the bank statement. So this means that the information, remember, the information that is not appearing on the bank statement, I said it is called outstanding, or you can call it timing difference. And remember, we said we record this kind of information in the bank reconciliation statement. So I'm going to put it in the BRS. But because now I don't want to touch the BRS for now, I'm just going to note and say I'm going to record in the BRS. For now, I'm focusing on the CBR and CBP. Do you understand the reason why I said it goes to the bank reconciliation statement?
Yes, I understand.
No problem. So I'm going to come back to it because I'm not yet dealing with the BRS. Number 5, they say a check number 440 issued to a creditor, Great Wholesalers, was entered in the CBR, in the cash book. They just said in the cash book as how much? As 1590 instead of what? 1950. What do you see here?
Yes, sir.
Can you say about this? What is happening here?
It's a shortage, sir.
Yeah, but what do you call it? Remember when I was explaining, I called this something
Error,
else.
sir.
Error, yes. But here they said cash book. So which cash book do you think they're talking about here? Because there are two cash books.
The cash book payment for paying creditors.
That's true. Is the cash book payment. So I like that. So here it means when we were paying someone, we recorded 1590 instead of 1950. The question is this overstated or understated?
Understated, sir.
Understated. So when it's understated, where will I record it? Will I record it in the same book where I understated or in an opposite book?
The same book.
The same book, which is what? In this case,
Cash book payment.
CB.
Payment.
Remember, are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now I know that in the CBP, I'm going to record these two amounts. Okay. So I'm going to go to the CBP. Let's check the CBP. 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 So When I go to the CBP here, I'm gonna just write, doesn't matter how I write it, I'm just gonna write the name of this great wholesale. And then I'm just gonna say check, you don't have to put a lot, just say check number 440. Because of space, I'm not gonna write everything like that. I'm just gonna write great wholesaler. And then the calculation must be the difference between the two. 1950 minus 1590. I'm just going to write this. How much do you think we get? You have the calculator with you?
What are the amounts again, sir?
1950 minus 1590. I got it, don't worry. 360.
It's 360 years.
Yeah, 360. So this is how, can you see now? So this is the, you can write, if you have got space, maybe you should have said correction of error in brackets, but it doesn't matter. As long as you wrote this and then we put the amount here, I will understand that you mean correction of error. So do you understand this one?
So I don't have to write it like this. So with the amounts, 1950 minus 1590. I don't have to write it like that. I can just write great wholesalers underpaid.
Yes, you can write anything like that, and then you put the 360.
Okay.
But the advantage of putting everything in brackets, because sometimes you make a mistake when you record 360 here. Can you see now? At least we can come and mark the brackets. Can you see now?
Oh, okay, I see, sir.
Because sometimes you put 36 by mistake here, and then if I look at the calculation here, I can just say, okay, at least he meant to do that. I can give you marks. You don't have to lose all the marks.
Oh, okay.
Like here on the bank charges, can you see 200 plus 100? If you don't want to put that, you can put it as a 300. But what if you make a mistake here? You lose all the marks. Can you see?
Okay, I see, sir.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the questions. That was number 5. Let's go to number 6. Check number 5671. As you can see here, of 1,000 was incorrectly debited on the Lake Supers Bank account. There's a mistake here. Just let me ask you a question before we continue. They say this check was not drawn by Lake. In other words, they took money from our bank account because we are Lake. They took money by mistake. Who made the error here? Is it our business or is it the bank?
Seems like the bank, sir.
The bank. So where do we rectify the errors made by the bank?
Bank reconciliation statement.
Bank reconciliation statement. So that's why I put BRS. I'm gonna come back to it by the time when I deal with the bank reconciliation statement. Are we together?
Oh, wait, sir, can I just read this again? I just want to make sure something.
Yes.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Got it? Okay. Let's go to number 7. A check of 2,500 received from Harry Ward, the debtor, was returned by the bank and it was marked as what? RD. So what is RD?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Refer to drawer is the same as if you see the word RD, just know that they mean the dishonored check. Ne?
Okay, sir.
So where do we where do we record dishonored checks? Remember we said is what?
Rectify it.
Remember dishonored check is the check that we thought we received, and now we need to reverse it. We always take it to what? CBP.
P.
Are we together? Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna record in the CBP. Let's see. In the CBP, I'm gonna write, what is that name? It's gonna be Harry. Because of space, I'm just gonna write Harry here. Harry who? Howard. And then I'm just gonna just write in brackets and write RD. Okay. RD. Or you can just write this on a check, it's up to you. They said the amount of 2,500. That's how we record it. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's go back to the question. And let's go to number 8. They say a check 519 or 4,000. Check 520 of how much? 1860 drawn by us. Remember, we are the business, so we issued these checks. They said they were not yet presented to the bank for payment. So where do you think I'm going to record this one before I can tell you?
This is a timing one, sir. So wouldn't it go to bank
Yes,
reconciliation?
you are correct. It's going to, is the timing difference, it's going to be the bank reconciliation statement. Perfect, perfect. I like that. Okay. No problem. The next one, on the 9th, on number 9, they said on the 25th of February, which is our month, a tenant made a direct deposit of 2,500. Where do you think we're going to record this one?
On the tenant made a direct deposit. But I don't understand. Is there anything wrong with this, sir? What are we correcting?
No, there's no error here. No, we're on number 9, by the way.
Yes, so we received money, so it's CBR.
CBR. You are correct. So I'm going to go to the CBR and record. So I'm going to just write, do we know the name of the guy? I'm just going to write direct deposit. And I'm just going to write tenant. How much was it? 2,500. That's how I'm going to write it. You see? Are you okay so far?
Yes, sir.
And then let's go to number 10.
So by
They
number 9,
say check
So by number 9, sir, you see there's no
Yes.
error here. There's nothing wrong. We just write it down as
Yes.
it is.
Yes. Remember, if they say direct deposit, it means someone paid us directly into the bank account. Ne? We only see it on the bank statement. We must now come and record in our books.
So the problem is it's not appearing on our books.
Yes, it's appearing on the bank statement.
Oh,
That's why now, because we've got the bank statement, remember we are comparing the bank statement and our books. We realized that, oh, someone paid us on the bank statement. In our books, we must go and update.
okay, I see.
That's why the word direct deposit makes the difference.
Okay, I see, sir.
Okay. Check number 88 for 10,500 was erroneously debited twice on the bank statement. There's an error here. Who made the error? And where do we record?
Isn't this the bank reconciliation statement?
Yes, the bank reconciliation statement, because the bank made an error. Can you see now? Now, that 11, they say the bank statement balance is at 28. This is important. At the end of our month, they said we had the bank statement balance and the balance was unfavorable. And that favorable amount is how much? 2277. Obviously, we can't record it in the CBR or CBP. So whenever you see the bank statement balance, just know that you always record the balance in the BRS. So the bank statement balance will always go to the BRS. So that is the balance that we're going to use by the time when we open what? The bank reconciliation statement.
Oh, so it's the
Are
first
you okay so
line.
far? Hello?
Is it the first line? Is it the first total of our bank's reconciliation statement before we've even
Yes,
paid
by the
the
time when
bank?
we do the bank reconciliation statement, you will see I'm going to put that balance.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But I'm going to show you how to do it because I don't want to mix them so that I don't want to confuse you with that, okay?
Okay.
Yes. So, now we are ready. We can go and we can add our totals now. Now it's time for us to add our totals because these totals are going to be very much important. So we need to come up with the total for the receipts. I'll just put it here at the end. So let's see, how much is it? It's 2. Let's see. I get 29070. That is the total that I got.
Okay.
Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
And then we need the total for payments. Three six 633 plus I hope you're also adding from your side so that you can have the same figures.
Yes, sir. 39,900. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. So you must not forget to track us. Obviously, we are going to use this total by the time when we open the bank account.
The bank account. or the next month?
Come again?
What do you mean by the bank account, sir? Or were you saying the next month's cash book payments?
Remember, here we open the cash book payments and the cash book receipts, and these totals must be transferred to the bank account,
Oh, on that T account.
the T account.
Okay.
Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, and then I didn't put the format for the bank account, so this is what I'm gonna do. I need a space, but I'm gonna squeeze everything here. Hopefully you can see what I'm, because I didn't put the format for the bank account, but I think if I can put it here, you can see. Sorry, I'm just gonna put it here, so I'm sorry about that because I don't have any other option. Is it okay if I just open the bank account here? Will you understand what I'm trying to do? Ne?
Yes, sir.
Because I didn't. So I'm gonna open a bank account. I'm just gonna squeeze it here so that I don't have other space. So I'm gonna open the bank account now.
So by bank account, you just mean bank, right, sir?
Yeah, just need only bank, and then yeah, so we need bank like this, and then yeah, I'm gonna show. So it must have debit and credit. Let me just put debit. Sorry about that one. I don't have a format, so I don't have a choice, but I must open it. Okay, debit and the credit. Now, I'm going to show you how to open the bank account. Remember, we need to go back to our, because they need to give us, remember the bank, we need to have a balance from the previous month. Sometimes they will give you the balance as it is. They say the balance of the bank, but that balance must from the previous bank, from the previous month. So remember, our month is February, our previous month is January. So they've got different ways of giving it to you. So in this case, as long as they give you the previous bank recon, it means the balance of the bank account from the previous month will be under the bank recon. Can you see here they said favorable balance as per bank account. So this is the balance of the bank account that I need. Can you see now? This is important. The bank account. This is the one that I'm looking for. And they said favorable. So this will make the difference because if they said unfavorable, it will be something else. So when they say favorable, is it debit or credit?
It's a debit, sir.
So it's going to be debit in our books. So meaning I know that I'm going to put this on the debit side as my balance. You see, that's how I decide. So I'm going to go there. My bank account. Let's see if I can find the bank. Yes. So sorry, I'm just going to squeeze. So I think we just have to write it at the same time. When I write, you must also write. So I'm going to come to the debit side. But remember, I'm dealing with the month of February 2016. So this balance will be at the beginning of the month. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, okay, on the debit side, I'm going to say 2016. And I'm going to say Feb. The first. I'm going to say balance brought down. And then that balance was how much? Was 19052. Are you okay with me so far? Do you understand what I just did?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we need to do that. And let me try to reduce the font because it seems as if this font is too much. Let's see if I can change it to 12. Yeah, it's better. if I put it like this, because I don't have space. Yeah. So as long as you can see what I'm talking about, can you see now? That's the first thing that I need to do. So if it was unfavorable, you write it the same way on the other side. Now, after doing that, you need to make sure that you go and transfer the totals of the bank. Remember, because if I may ask you, here you are receiving cash. Do you think this bank column will increase the bank or decrease the bank? If so, under which side?
Increase it.
Under which side?
Increase it. Increase
Under
it.
which side? On there?
Sorry?
Under which side?
For the
Debit or credit?
oh, debit. Debit.
Okay, on the debit side. So I'm just going to write debit just for my control. So I'm going to go to the debit side and record the amount. But the date now is going to be the end of February. Remember, I think for this, they said the 29th of February. I don't know. This it doesn't want me to write quickly here. I'm trying to write something. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna write the date will be the 29th. Must say total receipts. And I must also show that I took it from the CBR, and the total receipts for the CBR is this one at the bottom here, 29070. I'm gonna say 29070. Can you see how does it look like now? Can you see now?
Okay.
Yes. And I must also transfer. Remember, the other one will be the CBP. The CBP obviously will go to the opposite side. I'm going to go to the credit side now and write 2016 February. Remember, I'm transferring the total. It's going to be the 29th. I'm going to say total payments CBP, and the total was how much? The total for the payments was 39904. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let me shift this a bit higher so that I can have enough space. Let me shift the other one. As long as you can see what I did. Yes, that is what I'm gonna have. So after you remember, there are only three things. You put the balance, you put the total receipts, you put the total payments. Can you see now? So remember the total payments, you go to the payments you find. So thereafter you must balance this the way we know how to balance the account. Remember, when we balance the account, we always have two lines here. For example, here we must have a line here. What is happening? So which side is the biggest?
It's the debit one.
Is the debit one? How much is it?
It's 48,122 rand.
48,122.
22.
Okay. So this total must also appear on the other side. which is 48,122. You see now. So now we need the difference between the two sides. Remember, we just have to have two lines like this. What is the difference between the two sides?
8,218.
8,000. We call that balance carried down. Carried down. Come again, you said it's 8,000?
218.
218, yes. Okay, so that is the balance carried down. Okay, sorry about the lines there, but yeah. And thereafter, remember, if you do this, you can underline here. You can underline here. And then now you bring this down on the other side. I think you remember. But when you put it down here, the date will be 2016. What is the next month? Is March. You say the first, and then you're going to have the balance brought down. Balance brought down of 8, 2, and 8. Sorry, everything is like, yeah, but as long as you can see what I'm doing, I think you're also writing on your side there. So that's how to balance the account. So it means we've got a favorable balance of 8,218 at the end, because the balance brought down at the end is on the debit side. Are you okay so far? So all this information is going to be needed at a later stage. So now it's time for us to look at the bank reconciliation statement. Okay. Now, if you remember when we talked about the bank reconciliation statement, we said the first thing that we need to record under the bank reconciliation statement. I remember, let me just bring it back. I said there was a balance. Can you see this one? I said we must always start with this balance, like you said. We must put this as our balance. So when we record in the bank recon, we're gonna start with that. It is unfavorable. So when I go to the bank recon, I thought I was not having bank account. I do have the bank account, you know. But I think you understood. I thought I was not having bank account. Can you see this is the bank account that I was supposed to use? Can you see this one?
It's fine, I see. So you completed on the other end.
Oh, okay, no problem, as long as it makes sense. And then I must go to the bank recon. So the first thing that we need to write, remember we said the amount was the unfavorable balance. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say unfavorable balance as per bank statement. Are you having the amount with you?
It's 2277.
2277.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put it in brackets, to show that it's unfavorable. So always do that so that you cannot make a mistake of adding it. Okay.
So when it's unfavorable, you put
The
it in
first
brackets.
thing. Do you have any? Come again?
When it's unfavorable, you put it in brackets.
Yes, it's unfavorable. You must put it in brackets when it's unfavorable. It's a negative amount.
So when it's favorable, we just put it as a number.
Yeah, we just put it as a number like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The next thing that we need to we must check if we have got any outstanding deposit. Remember, the outstanding deposit are those deposits which are not appearing on the bank statement. Yes, we know from the beginning there we had the outstanding from the. Let's go and check the first one. We from the first bank recon given to us, we had the outstanding deposit, but as you can see, we ticked that. It means there's nothing we can do about this one. Okay. Okay. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
And then now it means we need to check if we have got any outstanding deposit for this month. We should have noted it somewhere. Remember this deposit on number 4.
Yes, sir.
So this is the one that I'm looking for. It's 4855. So I'm gonna go and record the outstanding deposit. We add outstanding deposit because the deposits is what we receive. So I'm gonna go and add the outstanding deposits. So I'm gonna say.
So wait, so we have to start with outstanding deposits, or we just go according to the numbers?
Normally we no like you have to start with the outstanding deposit, but sometimes students start with the outstanding checks. As long as they are correct, we don't penalize. Okay.
Okay.
But for me, I prefer starting with what? With the outstanding deposit, but the format doesn't matter.
Or the format doesn't matter.
No, as long as some people can start, but obviously you must start with the balance, ne? Obviously.
Yes, no, the balance is the first one.
And then, but when it comes to checks and deposits, it doesn't matter. You can start with checks, you can start with deposit, because other books also do that. But I prefer to start with the
Deposit.
the deposit.
Okay.
How much was it, by the way?
The deposit was 4,855.
4,855.
Yes, sir.
You see, we add deposit at all times, okay? And then after doing that, we need to find any outstanding checks, the ones which are not appearing. So we must also go back for the information that we got from the beginning. We had some outstanding checks from previous month. Let's check if they're still outstanding or not. Let's check if they're still outstanding or not. So if you check here, are they still outstanding, these checks?
No, sir.
Because 2 of them, they were appearing and 1 of them was cancelled. Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
So we don't have any checks from the previous month. But let's say, for example, we did not tick them like this. It means they will still be outstanding. I was supposed to go and write them again in my current month. So now what I need to do, I just have to check the outstanding checks only for this month. I think we did have the outstanding checks for this month. I think they were number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Let's check number 2. No, number 2 is the one that I was talking about. Let's check. Let me zoom out. Okay. No, we don't have anything here. Remember, I'm looking for outstanding checks only. Let's see. I think there are number 8. Can you see number 8?
Yes, sir.
Check number 519 and check number 520. I'm going to record them as my outstanding checks. Only 2 of them. So I'm going to go back and say my outstanding checks. So remember, we add deposit, we less checks. So I'm going to say less outstanding checks. And then I can say the first check that I have is check number. Can you help me?
I don't see a problem.
Number 8, let's see. I see check number 519. Can you see that?
It's check number 51. I can't see it on my end.
Check number 8, information.
Sir?
Are you still with me? I'm just saying, can you see the check? I'm not saying, I'm still writing, but can you see where check number 519 I took it from?
Oh, yes, sir.
How much is it?
The amount.
Yes.
Oh, I shouldn't write down the amount, sir.
It's 4,000. And then check number 520.
I can't see it on my end, sir.
520. How much is it? It's gonna be 1860. Can you see how do I write them? And I put them in brackets. You understand why? Because I'm paying out. Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you see the deposit? I didn't put brackets because deposit we received them and checks we paid them.
No, okay.
Are we good?
Yes, sir.
So after doing the checks, we need to check if we have got any errors which have been made by the bank. So we need to go and check the errors. If there are any errors which were made by the bank when we were analyzing the information. Let's go and check if there are any errors. Can you see number 6?
Number 6, yeah.
There was an error. They say the amount was incorrectly debited, meaning they took money from our bank account by mistake. How can I correct them? Will I debit or will I credit?
To correct them, we have to get credit.
I have to credit, okay? So, meaning the amount is 1,000 and the check number is 5671, okay? So what we need to do, we need to go there and remember we must correct it under bank recon. Why? Because the error was made by the bank, like we have explained before. So what we need to do, we need to go and correct the error. So how you call it doesn't matter, but for me, I prefer just writing correction of error, put the check number, that's all. Or you can say credited amount wrongly debited, is up to you. But for me, what I prefer to do, I prefer to write correction of error and then I can just say, I can put that check number here, which is number, it was check number 561 5671 and the amount was 1,000. The question is, must I put brackets or must I leave brackets?
No brackets, sir.
No brackets because you said I credited. Can you see now? Meaning we are receiving it back.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Let's check if this is the only error we have. Let's see, let's go back and check because sometimes you can find that you've got more than one error. And again, I think by the time when we were analyzing, we did highlight that we have got BRS. Check number, yeah, number 10, check number 10 here. Can you see number 10? They say check 488 of 10,500 was erroneously debited twice. If it was debited twice, how can I rectify it?
You divide it by 2 and then you write down 5,250.
Like when I record it, how will I record it?
Debited twice. Error.
Okay, let me just go back so that I'm going to say correction of error once again, like that. Correction of error. And then I'll put check number 488. 488. And then the amount was how much? 10,500. Must I put brackets or no brackets?
No brackets.
I'm getting it because it was debited twice instead of once, so I must get one of them back. Can you see now?
Oh, so you write down 10,500. You don't put down 5,250.
No. Remember, the check was 10,500, so it was taken twice from us as 10,500.
I thought they meant.
No. They didn't say they should have given us more information. It means they took two 10,500s.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay. So I don't think that we have got any other errors. So the only thing that we need to put here is to put the balance as per bank account. We need to go to the bank account that we opened and check whether the balance is favorable or unfavorable. Balance. Was it favorable when you remember? I'm going back now.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, it was on the debit side. It means it was favorable on the, because we look at the brought down at the end. So it is on the debit side, meaning it is favorable 8,280. So I'm gonna put it as the favorable by amount of the bank. Okay. I'm just gonna say favorable balance as per bank account. Favorable balance as per bank account. Be careful. I'm not talking about the bank statement. So the one for bank statement is the one that we start with. The one for the bank account is the one that we end with. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Must I put brackets or must I leave? Must I put it without brackets?
Without brackets.
Without brackets. Okay. Thank you. So this is how it looks like. Can you see now? So now it means, I'm just going to put lines here so that it can make sense. So this will be, so this amount that you see for the bank, to show that we are correct, if we take all the amounts on top, we add, we add or less, they must give us the 8218. Otherwise, there's something wrong somewhere. So take out the calculator and try to just add the positive first and less the negatives and check if you get 8218.
sir, by the thingy, by the outstanding checks, less
Yes.
the amount that's 1,000, right? Or is it 1,800?
The outstanding checks 1860.
Oh, it's 1,860.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me try to separate them a bit.
Yes, it's correct, sir.
Yes, it is correct. So it means our books have balance. But if you are writing an exam, don't worry about balancing it. If you can't find the mistake, just move on. You can still get your 98%. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because I know students sometimes they want to balance, they don't even know where to correct. They cancel the right figure so that they can balance with their own figures. They lose marks. So if you can't find mistake, leave it. You still pass with distinction.
Okay.
So this is how the bank reconciliation looks like. I hope you got the feeling of of unit number 1.
Now I understand it now, sir.
You understand it better now.
Yes, sir.
That's better. That's perfect. That's perfect. At least we did a lot today.